1927, advertisers realized trust was a commodity they could manufacture. To sell a new product in an untested market, you needed to anchor it in something familiar, something like memory. So they began designing not just products, but emotional landscapes. A cereal box might borrow the look of old postcards. A radio model would mimic the curves and wood grain of a Victorian music cabinet. The message was simple. If this design feels like home, then you already trust it. This was no accident. Designers knew they were building a kind of emotional scaffolding. Bathers called it the studium, the cultural residue that makes an object feel connected to your own story. A hand-drawn font on a coffee label didn't just look charming. It looked like tradition, like craftsmanship, like you'd sipped something like this before. Nostalgia here was never about memory. It was about making something new feel safe by dressing it in the past. And this is where Bathers' studium becomes more than a theory. It's the design equivalent of cognitive bias, a shortcut in perception that says, if it looks like something you once loved, it probably feels good too. The past was not being remembered here. It was being repurposed as infrastructure. A tool to build trust in a world where most new things were untested and therefore scary.
The year 1958 marked America's turning point in Cold War innovation, as the launch of Sputnik ignited a national resolve to lead in science and.
It began with a can of peas in a 1950s grocery store shelf, packaged to look hand, painted, even though it was mass-produced. Designers realized that the past offered something modernity could not: warmth, character, trust. This was not just about aesthetics, but about feeling seen by an object. The strategy worked so well that soon every product had a story of its own imagined history. This kind of duality, modern yet familiar, is the bedrock of digital nostalgia today. Instagram and TikTok don't just offer filters, they sell errors. Film grain, Polaroid halftones, and vintage vignettes are not about accuracy, but emotional shorthands. You can see your own face in these textures because they promise a past that feels real enough to be relatable.
Modern packaging does more than wrap and hold and conceal. Stunning in color, ingenious in design.
Bathers called it punctum, that detail in a photograph that pierces us like a smudge on a childhood portrait or a wrinkle around a forgotten eye. But what happens when the punctum is no longer an accident of memory, but a calculated feature? Designers now engineer friction into interfaces to mimic the warmth of imperfection. A glitchy font, a deliberately slow load time. It all screams that. Has been like an heirloom handed down through decades of use. While that archival voice explains how we preserve memory, here's the twist. Father's punctum is now clickbait. It's not about remembering anymore. It's about making you feel remembered. A retro filter on your profile picture or a 20px shadow on an app icon. It's all a performance of authenticity to keep you engaged, to make sterile systems feel like familiar faces. The emotional jolt that once came from a faded Polaroid now comes from an algorithm. County governments use AI to simulate empathy in non-emergency calls. Deepfakes rewrite history with pixel-perfect nostalgias. We're not just remembering the past, we're being sold it, one engineered memory at a time. The result, a world where authenticity is no longer felt. It's fabricated and fed through a screen.
We have a new human being, and that's Chris Potter of Memetics Corporation, a new synthesizer, the Yamaha DX100, and a new computer, the Commodore Amiga.
Nostalgia is no longer a private memory. It's a product feature engineered into our experiences to make them feel familiar in an unfamiliar world. We buy it through curated aesthetics and algorithmic repetition. But what happens when the design of nostalgia outpaces real memory? When AI can convincingly recreate pasts that never existed? As Bathers once wrote, "I am not afraid of time. I am afraid of forgetting." Now we must ask who profits from this fear. We are seeing the rise of memory engineering. No longer is authenticity a question of lived experience. It's about what the algorithm deems comfortable. Take those deep fakes, showing bald eagles with period, specific mannerisms, created to fill historical gaps that never existed. Nostalgia becomes a tool, not for reflection, but for control. It sells by convincing us we've always wanted this version of the past. If nostalgia is designed for us, rather than lived by us, then time itself becomes a product. We no longer remember, we are convinced of an edited version. The future isn't about remembering the past. It's about being sold how we should forget. This isn't just about aesthetic design. It's about rewriting what counts as real in our collective imagination.